Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, in life, it is almost impossible, or at least I haven't found that situation or individual who is always picked on, smacked around, and he has to react and defend himself without doing anything wrong or not being guilty of anything. I mean, the Bible tells us that, but that's the Bible, you know what I mean? Humpty Dumpty also, was put together or something like, or, Snow White came back to life after the prince kissed her, and so on. I mean, the, how do you call it, prince, the frog prince. Oh, these are fairy tales, all right? In reality, could be that sometimes you get something that you did not deserve, like a beating. But sometimes you get a beating because you got a big mouth or you did something to someone else, and that's as a consequence. I mean, I'm sorry. Only Israel has not done anything to anybody ever. So, the United States of America tries to reach the same level as Israel because we try to copy them since we are in a Judeo-Christian culture, right? And the United States of America smacks countries and wants territories from other countries left and right. They want Greenland from Denmark. They want to invade certain countries. They want to attack Venezuela. Now they want to attack Nigeria. I mean, they want to be everywhere. But they make peace with China. They're friendly with China and with the Russians, kind of. Why is that? Well, because with the little ones, you smack them around, and with the big ones, you are a shirker. All right, let me show you here how the Americans are ready to attack Nigeria. Why? Because the Christians, the Christians. And Donald Trump cares about the Christians very much, like he cared about the Christians in Syria, for instance. Okay, just to give you an example. Or let's say Ukraine or Russia or in East Ukraine, when the Orthodox Christians were slaughtered by the guys in Kiev at the orders of people from Trump's side, he had no problem with that. I haven't heard her saying anything about that. But he is very concerned about the Christians in Nigeria. And he should be. But he's pretending, obviously. Russia Today. Trump threatens military action in Africa. You see, because Africa, or the country of Nigeria from Africa, does something bad to us, and we have to be everywhere. The US president has accused Nigeria of allowing, and I'm quoting, the mass slaughter of Christians by Islamists. Well, you can't have that. But can you have Islamists being mass slaughtered by the Judeo, can they, I'm listening to Trump intensely. He doesn't give a shit. Remember when Donald Trump comes and says, stop the killing in Ukraine, stop the killing, I hate seeing people killed in Ukraine. How about Gaza? That's how Trump is. So he wants me to believe and or think that he really cares about those people. I wonder what kind of natural resources Nigeria has. Why? Because he's amassed about 16,000 troops of Venezuela's coast. Why? Venezuela has the biggest oil reserves in the world. So let me see what Nigeria has. I have a feeling that Nigeria sits for something that Donald Trump really wants. Right? And he finds a pretext, the Christians. Send Pence over there. Pence is a Pence the dance. And here it is, my friends. Nigeria is rich in natural resources, contributing significantly to its economy. Oil and gas. Nigeria is one of the largest oil producers in Africa, with oil accounting for a major portion of government's revenue and export earnings. Minerals. The country has deposits of minerals such as coal, tin, limestone, gold, and iron ore, though these are less exploited compared to oil. It's okay. Trump will send his boys. Agriculture and forestry, we don't care about that. So, I made a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I called the current era the United States of America imposes on the world as the resource plunder era. That's what it is. The Americans started the natural resource plundering era. If you have resources, you better give it to me, otherwise I'm gonna shut out of you. And you know what I'm gonna say? Well, you don't respect the human rights. There you go, we got him. And you say, no, I do. I don't care, give me your oil. This is the America. This is the America. It behaves worse than the Jewish mafia. You know what I mean? They call it the Italian mafia, the blah, blah, blah. The guys in Las Vegas, the guys in... I would like you to go and check in New York. I would like you to go and get some names. I read, not really recently, a book about the mafia. And you have the names. And you got the names and their origin, where they come from, what kind of bazaar they are, and so on. So Nigeria has oil and gas. So does Venezuela. And Venezuela has drugs now. We have to talk them because they have drugs. They are narco-terrorists. U.S. amassing 16,000 troops off Venezuelan coast. Washington Post. The American forces in the area reportedly include 8 Navy ships, a special operation vessel, and a nuclear-powered submarine. The U.S. is deploying a mass military contingent to an area near Venezuela, including 10,000 soldiers and 6,000 sailors. The Washington Post has reported the move may indicate plans to expand regional operations. They mean attack, aggression. The U.S. has repeatedly accused Venezuela of aiding quote-unquote narco-terrorists. So, what is the difference between this and what the Russians did in Ukraine? Well, I tell you what the difference is. The Ukrainians in Kiev were really killing the ethnic Russians in East Ukraine. The guys in Kiev were banning the Russian language. The guys in Kiev tried to destroy the Russian culture in Ukraine. The guys in Kiev destroyed some political parties. They barred some Christian Orthodox denominations, and so this is why. But Trump did not give a fuck about that one. Why? He got the resources of Ukraine with a stroke of a pen. That's it. And who's losing? The Ukrainians, because Zelensky doesn't give a shit. If the shit hits the fan, he goes to London or New York. Where do you think he's going to go? He's not going to go to Jerusalem or to Tel Aviv, to be more specific. No, those guys, nah, he's better than those. So there you have. So let's see what these guys are doing, what Trump said about Nigeria. Nigeria, a country split between a Muslim majority north and largely Christian south, has long been plagued by violence from the group as Boko Haram. The attacks, which have killed tens of thousands and displaced over 2 million since around 2009. Trump was president, I think, from 2016 to 2020. Did you hear anything about Nigeria? Target both Christian and Muslims, paka. In a post on Truth Social, Trump accused Abuja of failing to protect Christians and warned the U.S. may very well go into now disgraced country, guns ablazing, to completely wipe up Islamist terrorists. There you go. So they call you, this is the way they do. They label you. They make, they say, Emil Kosman is a national security threat. That's it. Right, he talks shit we don't like. Is it true? Beyond the scope of the situation. If it's truthful or not, they don't care. They don't like. So therefore, they label me and others in certain ways. And then, by the labeling, they make some... They can add other words to national security threat. No, okay. And then by the law, in the books, they're gonna smack me. All right, you got it? The same with these guys. They label these guys however they want. And Trump just found out a minute ago that Nigeria is slaughtering those people. From 2016 to 2020, he was this naive. Well, I don't know. Why? It's the natural resources plundering era. He got a deal with the Australians, give me your resources. He's got a deal with the Japanese, I give you everything, just give me your resources. He's got a deal with the guys in charge of Ukraine. They got a deal with the embassies from Europe. They are plundering, and they can't get the resources from Russia. That's the gem. And now they try Venezuela. 16,000 troops off the coast of Venezuela for narco-terrorists. But only we, which is they, can label everybody the way they want so they can go and smack them. Nobody else has the right to say, well, you're a terrorist, man. You want Greenland. What are you? You got it? All right, let's see how Trump, let me put it so, a piece of shit person could be observed or noted or uncovered by the way the person behaves, not what he talks about or how he talks, how he behaves. And usually these are the people that are assholes. Let's be nice, right? With the guys equally strong or stronger than them, they are slavish. They are, giving them all kind of beautiful words, and they kiss their ass and so on. And with the people below them, they are ruthless. Ruthless. You're a terrorist. So what the US does, right here. The minute Xi Jinping and China tell Trump again no, Xi Jinping will be called a dictator, and China how are the Christians doing in China, I wonder? How about those lutzis, mutzis, tutsis in Western, Western China? These guys are calling that the Islamists, those Islamic guys that Xi Jinping is destroying. How about those guys? Do you care about them? Or you care only about the Christians, not about the human lives, you say? All right. Trump hails meeting with Xi as step towards everlasting peace. What? 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 This is ridiculous, my friends. I thought it was IPAC. All right, next one. US and China to reopen military hotlines. That's good. That's very nice. Always is good to have communication. Why? Not because this guy is a diplomat, not because this guy kneeled China. They had to agree that they could not kneel Russia yet. So they try to destroy Russia by buying China. China will not play that game. I guarantee you that. I tell you why. Unfortunately, the United States of America's government is a pathological liar. Everybody knows it. And if you don't know that, you're either very young, you don't want to know it, live in denial, or simply, I know, you're fucking dumb. That's what it is. You have to know. It's a pathological liar who, I'm talking about the government, who is breaking any contract, anything that is signed, if they feel like. I'm going to give you an example. Trump, for instance, he said, the United States of America signed a little, not contract, how do you call it? It was a nuclear deal with Iran, plus the Europeans. When a new administration came, still the United States of America said, no, we're not going to do that. We don't like it. Bye. So what's the point to discuss with you again? So you can make a deal today and tomorrow not recognize the deal you signed yesterday as a country? I'll give you one example. You want another one? You want the Paris Accords, which I'm glad the Americans got out of it. The global warming and all that garbage, okay? Why is it garbage? Because it's a racket. That's not how you do it, right? You fly your airplanes and you tell me that I'm supposed to do what? Use plastic straws and bullshit. Anyway, or you sell me EVs, electric vehicles, by giving me incentives of about $7,400 in my tax returns just to buy it. That is unfair competition for the fuel fossil engine, right? Oh my God, it's just BS. So these guys are saying, you know what, we're going to be friends with you. We're going to try to stab the Russians by getting you out of BRICS. And then after we break your alliances, now we're friends, we will stab you in the back and then we win. But hey, I guarantee you the Chinese are not baboons. They know what's going on. And they're going to play the same as the Indians. What do you have to offer? I'm looking at the interest of my people and my country. Now, I'm not going to say, because I'm with Russia, as this is the United States of America's deal, you are my vassal state, and you do business with whomever I allow you, and you don't do business to whomever I say you don't do business with. The Russians are not like that. They say, man, it's in your national interest. Do it. Well, we can say it's wrong or it's against our national interest, but we understand you're a sovereign country. Now, which way would you rather be? Which one would you rather befriend? The Russians who say, we don't like it, but hey, you are independent. Or, no, you gotta do it, otherwise I will smack you. Like the Americans are smacking Orban right now, and Hungary. No, you can't buy the Russian oil because we impose sanctions on Russia. And because we impose sanctions on Russia, automatically you have to impose sanctions on Russia. Why? Since when? Because since I tell you what to do. So which would you want to befriend? Remember when India is buying Russian oil and so on? The Russians said if they want to change, that's their own deal. It's their national interest. If they want to buy it more expensive from the whomever else, they can do it. We don't like it. This is the same thing with America. I own guns. I want to own how many guns I want, and it's nobody's fucking business how many I do, including the government. But you have to jump through all kind of hoops, legal hoops, in order to the government know exactly what you have. Why? Because that's in the Constitution. Not, but hey, who cares? They subjugated it a long time ago. So the same here. Oh my God, we're friends. We opened the line of communication. That's going to fall down the minute Xi Jinping says, well, I don't like that, Donnie. Oh my God, you're a dictator. Stop that. We're going to impose that. He tried to kneel China. He couldn't. He can claim that he got them to the negotiating table if they want, but that's not how it is. He tried to bluff and blackmail and threaten them. The same attitude that a father will do to a son or a friend to another friend. You like that one? Well, I don't. So who wants to associate with these guys? With these guys, there's no friendship. And you can say, well, in the world, there's no friendship at all. It's just temporary alliances that are just overlapping temporarily for personal interest, for national interest. That's it. And after that, they part away. Well, if it's like that, then everybody should recognize its own interest and be able to play along, like, hey, my interest. But no, you're not allowed, because the big guy comes and tell only certain countries, if you do business with China, let's say with Cuba, we're going to strike you. If you do business with Russia, we're going to strike you. Yeah, but I'm an independent sovereign country. So, now, that's not a friend. That's not a person who pretend to have values or principles. But hey, they are the most extraordinary. I'm talking about the government. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.